Alright, welcome everyone back to Class Docs. We're going to start talking about algebra and the different things that it's made up of. Since we're just beginning off, we'll talk about three different things today: variables, expressions, and equations. So, what is a variable? Well, usually you'll see something written out like 1 plus 2 equals 3, right? Well, a variable is something that takes the place of one of these numbers. It represents something. So 1 plus x equals 3. Now, obviously, from the above equation, or from the above addition problem, we know that x is going to be 2 because, 1 plus 2 equals 3. 1 plus x equals 3. We know that the only thing missing is 2, so x must be 2. So, x is a variable. Now we move down below and we start to understand that the 1 plus x equals 3, this is called an expression because x is trying to express something that the equation is trying to say. It's really holding a place. And so we move down below and let's try something else. Maybe we'll try 2 plus y. A variable can be any sort of letter, equals 15. Now you're going to say, how do we solve that? We don't know what y is, right? Well, it's actually quite easy. See, every number in this equation is either positive or negative. We know that 2, since there's no negative in front of it, is positive. So this is a positive. And we know that since y has a plus in front of it, and it's not in brackets with a negative, this is also a positive. And we also know that 15 is a positive. So how do we solve equations? It's really quite simple. Basically, all you have to do is you have to subtract from both sides the number that allows you to isolate the variable. So in this case, we'd want to subtract 2 from this side, right? Because it would get rid of 2 and leave y on its own on the left. But if you subtract 2 from one side, you have to subtract 2 from the other. So we're left with y equals 15 minus 2. So what we end up getting is y equals 13. And that's how you solve an equation. So now we know that variables are anything that represent a number. And an expression is the whole thing laid out. And an equation is something you have to solve using your brain power. So if you have any questions or comments, please post them below and we'll be sure to answer them. We're starting off really simple with algebra, variables, expressions, equations. Obviously, we're going to get going into some harder stuff, but it's very key to understand the fundamentals and why we subtract 2 from this side. 2 minus 2 plus y equals 15 minus 2, because that gives us a 0 plus y, which equals 13. And that ultimately just leaves us with y equals 13, because 0 doesn't really mean anything. You can just cross that out. And And that's how we really get it. So, like I said, questions below. If you're good with this stuff, move on to the next thing. And yeah, it's good to be making progress. See you next time.